This is the Justice League. Specifically, this is the Justice League as they will appear in next year's live-action movie. All of these characters have already been introduced in Batman vs. Superman. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman all had predominant parts, while Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg all had cameos. Batman and the Flash also showed up in Suicide Squad. Now, if you're familiar with the Justice League in any capacity, you may have noticed that this team is short one member. The traditional Justice League lineup is usually 7 members. Even the first official image of Aquaman had the tagline "Unite the Seven," so the filmmakers know that 7 is the magic number. The missing member is, of course, Green Lantern. Since the Justice League debuted back in 1960, he has been a prominent member. It's believed that Warner Brothers doesn't want to rush into putting Green Lantern back on the big screen since his last solo movie left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Their announced Green Lantern solo film, Green Lantern Corps, doesn't come out until 2020. Which, believe me, I understand. But last week it was rumored that a Green Lantern would appear in Justice League. Whether it's just one of the main Earth Green Lanterns or the Corps as a whole, still unknown. But it looks like Warner Brothers is serious about giving Green Lantern another try, and they're going to get started right away. I should be excited for this, but I'm not. Here's why. So, yes, it's rumored that a Green Lantern will appear in next year's Justice League movie. Again, I say a Green Lantern because we don't know which one it's going to be. According to rumor, it won't be a major role, just a cameo, whether that's a post-credits scene or something in the middle. Again, it's still up in the air. Now, it would make sense that Warner Brothers would try to reboot Green Lantern now. The Ryan Reynolds movie came out in 2011, so enough time has passed. People have moved on from that movie. I mean, they were willing to reboot Batman after only 4 years between films. Why not Green Lantern after 6? Also, and this may have something to do with it, Geoff Johns is currently leading DC Films along with John Berg, and if you know anything about Geoff Johns, you know he loves Green Lantern. Aside from his epic 9-year run on the comics, he was a producer on the 2011 movie and was a major force in getting that film to the big screen. I'm not talking about the quality of the movie, I mean actually getting it from script to celluloid. Besides, it's not his fault the movie sucked. That was Martin Campbell's. So I get why they would want to add Green Lantern to Justice League, but I don't think they should. Here's the thing, we know for a fact that these 6 characters are going to be in the movie. And we know that Ciarán Hinds is playing the main antagonist Steppenwolf. We also know that Alfred, Lois Lane, Commissioner Gordon, Mera, Martha Kent, Lex Luthor, Vulko, Iris West, all of them are in the movie as well. That's 15 major characters in this movie. Assuming that they all get a decent amount of screen time and at least 4 of them get background details filled in, that's a lot for a 2.5-hour film. Not to mention they need to explain how Superman comes back from the dead, and no, that's not a spoiler. We should all know that by now. Even with just a cameo, Green Lantern is making an already stuffed movie that much more stuffed. And how will this cameo be handled? Judging from the way they've handled previous cameos in the past, probably not great. I'm picturing something similar to the Flash cameo in Batman vs. Superman, you know, where the movie pretty much stops so that Barry can yell nonsense at Bruce through the time stream, or maybe it was a dream, who knows. What Barry Allen said in that scene really had no bearing on the rest of the film. You can argue that it was trying to set up future movies, but that doesn't belong in the middle of a movie. It belongs at the end, if anything. I mean, just picture it. The League is about to do something super important, then all of a sudden Guy Gardner shows up to talk about the history of Oa and then flies off. That's it. Or since this is Zack Snyder we're talking about, it'll probably be Orissa Rabb, played by one of the Sucker Punch girls in a really short skirt. Orissa's 14, by the way. And that's to say nothing of the infamous scene where Wonder Woman watches web videos of the Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, and they tried to pass that off as cameos. A Green Lantern cameo can't just be a throwaway scene. He's one of DC's top characters. His appearance needs to mean something. If anything, this really should be an after credits cameo. After Superman returns and the day is saved, a Green Lantern comes down to Earth and says something like, I don't know, "We've been fighting the forces of Apocalypse for a very long time. You've defeated Steppenwolf, but we now need help defeating his boss." And then it'll cut to black and everybody will be like, "Oh my god, Darkseid, ah!" That's how you do a Darkseid reference, not the Omega symbol in the desert. And that's all it has to be. There's no need to overcomplicate it with the Guardians or the mythology or anything like that. Just have Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart show up, say that line, and boom, you're done. But honestly, at this rate, Green Lantern just shouldn't be in the movie, even as a cameo. The DC films as of late have been packed with content. Every inch of film is filled with a reference to something, either from the comics or to an upcoming movie. And they really can't keep doing that. References are nice, but not at the expense of the main story. Let us not forget that both Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad had so much content, they had to cut a lot of it. Warner Brothers took the backlash from Batman vs Superman very hard. They scrambled to try and change Suicide Squad to what they thought the fans would want, and they're doing everything they can to show that Justice League is not going to be the same movie as BVS, that they learned all the lessons from BVS. And one of the mistakes they can easily avoid is keeping the cameos and references down to a minimum. They've already have a bunch of characters in this movie. One more is not going to do it any good. But what do you guys think? Do you think there should be a Green Lantern cameo in Justice League? And which Green Lantern do you think should appear? Let me know down below or anywhere on the internet. Like I said, I don't think there should be a cameo. They should just wait until Green Lantern Corps comes out in 2020 and have it be about all the Green Lanterns, including all the Earth Green Lanterns, not just the Corps as a whole, everybody. I think that's the best way to distance itself from the Ryan Reynolds movie, which only focused on Hal Jordan. New videos every Tuesday and Wednesday, and of course, Wednesday night, Wulff Den Live, 9 o'clock Eastern, right here on YouTube. Come, talk to us. If you miss it, no problem. Goes up the next day on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and of course, YouTube. And as always, like if you like, subscribe if you really like, share this video with a friend. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.